All right, what is up, everybody? I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News. Welcome to the Halloween show, episode 54, guys. It is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween week. We are kicking it off in style tonight. Got a fun live show for you coming to you from Halloween Daily headquarters in Kill Devil Hills here in North Carolina on the Outer Banks. I hope you're all doing well. Happy to be here in our usual Monday night, late night slot of 10:31 p.m., give or take a minute or two. Thank you all for being here and joining me tonight. We've got a lot of fun stories to talk about. I see some familiar names popping up in the live chat already, of course. Some of our friends, including Ken and Art and Tim, and of course Ryan Korn in the house. What's up, guys? Rock on. Hope everybody is had a good week. And I hope you've all gotten out to see a little Halloween movie that's kicking ass at the box office. I think you know the one we're talking about. We've got a lot of stories to go over tonight, and the way we're going to do it is I'm just going to go through each story, then we'll come back, and we are fully interactive since we are live tonight. So I'll see if there's any comments about that story in the live chat, and then we'll move on to the next one. And some of these I'll give a little extra added commentary to and stuff. And then we're going to be premiering a brand new video tonight from Haunted Screams Expo. I think you guys are going to like it. It's just a fun little teaser of some of our other coverage we've got coming. So, Ken says he has finally seen Halloween Kills. Nice. Very cool. You've got access to Peacock. Very cool. Well, go ahead. We're going to be talking about it later, but go ahead. Let me know what you think. I just posted my official review yesterday, actually. Before we get to Halloween Kills, of course, that's our top story this week, obviously. But there's a lot of other exciting Halloween news happening right now, and specifically breaking this week. So right now, as always on the Halloween show, we're going to get right to the headlines. This is a roundup of all the top stories that we're covering right now on HalloweenDailyNews.com. First up, for any of you wrestling fans out there, I know some of you guys watch WWE. You probably already know this, but Chucky is coming to NXT's Halloween Havoc next week. If you don't know, if you're not a wrestling fan, WWE resurrected a classic event that used to run in the old WCW promotion throughout the 90s. It was called Halloween Havoc, and they always had Halloween-themed matches with crazy stipulations. And it was a pay-per-view event in the 90s. WWE resurrected it last year in 2020 under the NXT brand, and now the event is back once again under NXT. It is happening on Tuesday, October 26th at 8 p.m. on USA Network, and it's going to be followed by a new episode of the Chucky series, which is running simultaneously on USA and Sci-Fi Networks. And who knows what's going to be happening at this Halloween Havoc. No word yet on what type of matches they might have and how Chucky is going to get involved, but I fully expect to see Chucky somehow get in the ring and actually unleash some of his own kind of havoc. What do you guys think? Are you going to be watching NXT Halloween Havoc on Tuesday night? Do you watch NXT regularly? I guess I also should be asking, are you watching the new Chucky series? I've been watching the new series personally. I'm really enjoying it. I had high hopes and expectations, and so far it's delivering. This past week's episode, actually this past Tuesday's episode, was actually set entirely on October 31st. It was the full-on Halloween episode, and probably my favorite part was Chucky going trick-or-treating in the Hello Kitty mask. It's pretty great. Some classic Chucky there. But they're really knocking it out of the park with these first two episodes. Anyway, I mean, it's only 2 episodes in. We got 8 total. So, are you watching the Chucky series? Do you watch wrestling? Are you going to watch Halloween Havoc for one or the other? Let me know in the live chat if you are live right now. David has watched it about 8 times now. Talking about Halloween Kills, I assume. Ken says brutal, loved it. Absolutely. Again, talking about Halloween Kills. Tim says sweet shirt, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yep, it's one of my favorites. Yeah, yeah. Halloween Kills was definitely brutal. Also happening on TV right now, as you know, at Halloween Daily News. Well, here's a little promo for the NXT Halloween Havoc before we move over to other TV listings. As you know, we cover all of the Halloween specials, Halloween episodes, Halloween events, all of the programming blocks dedicated to Halloween throughout the season. And this is a new one for us. Doctor Who. That's right, the long-running classic sci-fi series on BBC One. Even Doctor Who is celebrating Halloween this year, kicking off a new 6-episode season with an episode called The Halloween Apocalypse. And this is part of the 13th series of the long-running Doctor Who show, and this season is called Doctor Who Flux. It will begin with the Halloween Apocalypse premiering on BBC One on Sunday, October 31st. Here is the official synopsis of the episode. On Halloween, all across the universe, terrifying forces are stirring from the Arctic Circle to deep space, and ancient evil is breaking free. And in present day Liverpool, the life of Dan Lewis is about to change forever. Why is the Doctor on the trail of the fearsome Carvanista? And what is the Flux? All right, so if you're a Doctor Who fan, you obviously don't want to miss this. Again, if you're watching this live, let me know in the live chat if you are a Doctor Who fan. And if you're watching this not live, let me know in the comments. And as always, guys, you can find all of the TV programming happening right now, whether it's on the streaming platforms or the old school networks, whatever it is, we've got it on Halloween Daily News. We got the Fear Fest schedule, we got the Monstober schedule, we got Food Network's Halloween War schedule. It's all up there. Turner Classic Movies, showing a bunch of classic stuff. So you can find all that at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Ken says, WWE, boo. AEW, where it's at. I grew up on WWF, WWE, but stopped because legends die off. Newcomers killed it all through Brock Lesnar, my boy. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things about AEW. I haven't really watched WWE in a very long time, like probably a couple decades. It's been a long time, but I do enjoy that Chucky series, and I did used to watch a lot of wrestling back in the day in the 80s and 90s, so I do remember the Halloween Havoc pay-per-views somewhat. All right, did you guys see the trailer for The Batman? The main trailer dropped on Saturday after DC's online fandom event. And it looks pretty badass. This is a very angry, pissed off Batman. It's an early Batman. And we've been saying all along that this is going to be a Halloween movie. And there's a little evidence to that. I mean, we know that Matt Reeves, writer-director, was inspired by, at least partially, by the classic story, The Long Halloween. This will not be an adaptation of that, but it is going to take certain cues from that. I've also read from some producer interviews that it was going to have a much more Long Halloween influenced story, but they eased off of that a little bit, and that's partially why the animated films were released this year ahead of this live action film. All that being said, though, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be some Halloween scenes in the film. We know this because there's been some clues dropped along the way, like in the first teaser. There was this Halloween greeting card left for the Batman. And in a behind-the-scenes featurette that was released also during Fandom, there was what looked like a Halloween party, which we know was filmed. We know from casting calls while they were in production that a Halloween party scene with people in costume was shot for this film. That doesn't mean the whole film is going to take place around Halloween. And of course, if it is taking inspiration from The Long Halloween, I would imagine that this is going to be similar in the way that The Long Halloween, it's a long Halloween. It takes a year, you know. It takes a year for Batman to find the holiday killer. Um, and I think this is going to be similar to that, where Batman's going to have this new killer kind of playing a similar game. I did a full breakdown of this video, which we released late Saturday, and you can check that out elsewhere on this channel. And I was doing some Hallow hunting within the video. Didn't spot a whole much there, but this was brought to my attention after the fact. Right here, when Batman is kicking the asses of these guys in the face paint, you can see there's a sign kind of faded out of focus behind them there. You zoom in, you can almost make out the lettering, and it looks a lot like it says the word Halloween. Again, this doesn't make it a Halloween movie by any means, and like I said, it's definitely not going to be an adaptation of The Long Halloween, but that doesn't mean that some of this isn't taking place on or around the holiday. It certainly makes sense with the themes they're going for. And we do know from what Matt Reeves has said that this is an early years Batman, not quite year one. It's not an origin story. It's more like year two is the way he describes it. But it is influenced by the comic book story of year one and also by The Long Halloween, which again, that's not quite year one, not quite origin, but it's still early days. Batman and Gordon are working together, but neither have really become what they will ultimately become. And it's the holiday killer and finding the identity of that killer throughout the 13 months, the 12 months really, from Halloween to Halloween. The 12 months from Halloween to Halloween. That's how they become what they're going to become. And really, and Batman makes some mistakes along the way, and he learns that he's going to have to become more of a detective. Batman's going to have to, and he's also going to have to cover his tracks a little bit better. And in this trailer, it looks like Bruce is not really the playboy Bruce Wayne that he's pretending to be in most iterations of the character. Yet he is pretty much Batman all the time at this point. I think some of this film will be about separating that. And again, themes of Halloween and disguises and masks and all that stuff could easily play into that. Matt Reeves is really smart with that type of stuff. And there are all indications that this film, more than any other Batman movie, is going to be almost a horror film. It looks and feels like David Fincher's Seven, with every single shot in the trailer. If it's outside, it's raining. Every single shot. How Batman is so vicious. It's almost like he is a monster in this film. And, of course, bigger, badder monsters will eventually rise up. So, super excited for the Batman. Check out my full breakdown elsewhere on this channel. So what do you guys think? Are you stoked for the Batman like I am? Ken says Batman versus Michael Myers. Hey, I would love to see that. There's been a lot of fan art done with a Batman versus Michael Myers, and they're calling it, one fan art I shared on Michael Myers Monday one time was called The Longest Halloween. How brilliant would that be? I would love to see that. I mean, are you kidding, man? Make that happen. Make that happen. Michael comes to Gotham, or Batman comes to Haddonfield. Who cares? I think Michael comes to Gotham might be. I don't know. I mean, hey, work it out. Let's see it. Let's see it. I'd be there for it. Definitely in comic form. I'd totally be there for it. And some other big news this week for Halloween entertainment in general. The long-awaited, much hoped for by fans and audiences, Hocus Pocus 2 is actually happening. They started filming this week in Rhode Island, and the original stars are back in as the Sanderson sisters, of course, and it's going to be released on Disney Plus next year. And they just started filming, and here's everything that we know so far. After years of rumors and delays, Disney's Hocus Pocus 2 is finally really happening, and it has officially begun filming in Rhode Island. A crew for the sequel filmed this week at LaSalle Academy, where a sign outside the private Catholic school advised anyone entering that Fairy Dust Productions would be shooting, according to the Providence Journal. Extras were also seen outside the school where filming was being done, apparently inside. Original cast members Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy, who played the iconic witches, the Sanderson sisters, in the 1993 family Halloween classic Hocus Pocus, are all returning to reprise their roles in the sequel. Ann Fletcher is directing from a script by Jen D'Angelo. THR is also reporting that Sam Richardson of The Tomorrow War has joined the cast of Hocus Pocus 2. According to an early synopsis in the film, three young women accidentally bring the Sanderson sisters back to modern-day Salem and must then figure out how to stop the child-hungry witches from wreaking a new kind of havoc on the world. Hocus Pocus 2 will be released for Halloween 2022 on Disney+. We expect additional cast announcements coming soon, so stay tuned. Yeah, this is really huge news for a lot of people. Personally, I grew up, I was in high school in '93 when the original Hocus Pocus was released. So it really was just not on my radar at that time. I didn't see it for many years later, not until fairly recently. As a parent, I watched it for the first time. I was aware of it for a while, but I didn't even become aware of it until long after of the 90s after it was released. But for an entire generation, they were kids when it came out. They watched it. Their parents watched it with them. So they share it. And for a lot of families, it is kind of one of those annual rewatch things every October. Like, John Carpenter's Halloween or Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat are to many of us as well. And I have, of course, now watched it yeah, it's a great, charming Disney movie. You've got the great Doug Jones in there as Billy Butcherson, who's amazing. I mean, he's amazing in everything he does, but he's great in there. It's loaded with Halloween atmosphere. It's funny, it's wholesome enough you can let the kids watch it, but still got plenty of laughs for the parents. And then there is a great little Michael Myers cameo, real quick. If you see, there's a mask, a Michael Myers mask, worn by one of the trick or treaters when they come, and Bette Midler's character opens the door for them. But yeah, so that's going to be a huge event when that film is released. It's going to be big for Disney Plus. And say what you want about Disney, but they are totally in the Halloween game. As you saw this year, they did Under Wraps. They did a Star Wars spooky Halloween type special, marketed as a Halloween special with actual posters that paid homage to classic horror films like The Shining and The Thing. So Disney is all in on Halloween, and this is going to be like their crown jewel next year, you can bet. They're also, at the same time on Disney Plus, Marvel is doing what is described as a Halloween special. I don't know if that means a limited series or a made for Disney Plus movie, but it is being described as a Halloween special involving a werewolf character, yet to be determined. That's also coming next year in 2022 to Disney Plus. So very exciting to see all that. And that's just a few of the projects that are coming in 2022. As you know, there are so many awesome Halloween movies that we've been talking about here. Obviously, Halloween ends. Like I said, Hocus Pocus 2. There's also Terrifier 2 we have to look forward to. I'd say The Batman. And another one that we have been covering really heavily here on HDN for quite a while. And as Hocus Pocus begins filming this week, Dark Harvest is wrapping up filming this week in Canada. This is a film that I've been reporting on, and it was originally set to be released this year, of course. Filming got delayed for obvious reasons. Everything got pushed back a year. But this is an adaptation of a novel by Norman Partridge, and it is about a small Midwestern town where young boys, as a rite of passage, go and challenge and try to face off with a legendary supernatural beast that rises out of the cornfields. Okay? This beast is known by many names, sometimes Sawtooth or Sawtooth Jack or the October Boy. And this movie is going to be directed, well, it has been directed by David Slade, and we've been covering this really, really tightly here in recent weeks, even as they were filming. And if you've been watching the Halloween show, we've been following along on the production because some of the film's stars have been sharing some behind the scenes looks on their social media. There you see there, most recently, Jeremy Davies, Elizabeth Reeser, and Luke Kirby joined the cast. This is the book cover here. Well, there you can see an illustration of what we've got coming. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned in the synopsis, but all this happens around Halloween. It is absolutely a Halloween horror film. Awesome. I see Darlene has joined us and lit her pumpkin. Welcome. Ken says, I like the first Hocus Pocus a lot. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I get it now. Like I said, it came out. I was not the right age when it came out, but decades later, as a parent, I watched it, and yeah, now I enjoy it. So again, like I said, we have been following along, and the film's leads, Casey likes. He plays Richie, and this is something he posted on Instagram when he first got to Winnipeg to film. There's his script, of course. Austin, also Dustin Sighthammer, who plays Sawtooth, the creature. Mari Crutchfield, who is our female lead. I forget her character's name right this second. I'll check on that in a minute. But here's some behind the scenes photos that they all posted. There's Casey on day one of filming. But this I especially loved. Look at that. Sawtooth is coming. And look at that illustration, that graffiti illustration. I mean, this is just a tiny hint of what we're going to be dealing with in this film. Very excited for this. Here, Casey posted last week about wrapping this week. And you see the cornfields in the background. Lots of cornfields in this. And then just yesterday, Casey Likes posted this on Instagram saying wrapped on Dark Harvest. And we reported when they were going to be filming this, and we also reported that shooting was scheduled to run through October 21st, which was yesterday. So that makes sense that our leads would wrap their work on this film. Like I said, this is directed by David Slade, who is a director that I really like personally. I liked his Black Mirror film Bandersnatch. What do you guys think? I see Dave's excited for this. Again, Casey likes stars as Richie Shepherd. Mari Crutchfield also stars. She's playing a character named Kelly Haynes. The official synopsis says every fall in a small Midwestern town, a supernatural specter rises from the cornfields and makes its way toward the town's church, where violent gangs of teenage boys hungrily await their chance to confront the legendary nightmare in an annual harvest rite of life and death. Richie lives in the shadow of his big brother, who won last year's run and earned his ticket out of town. To prove himself and join his brother, Richie pairs up with Kelly, a restless dreamer who will do whatever it takes to escape this dead-end town. Against the rules and the odds, Richie and Kelly decide to hunt down the legendary nightmare to win the run and their freedom together. Dark Harvest is scheduled to arrive in theaters on September 9th, 2022. A perfect way to kick off Halloween season and right around the harvest moon, I believe. I am super stoked for Dark Harvest. We've been covering this for quite some time. It was in development, pre-production for a while. A couple of different filmmakers came and went, and now here we are. It's finally wrapped. So it's happening. It's happening next fall. And great talent all the way around. Like I said, a cool cast. Behind the scenes now, you've got Vincent Van Dyke's effects workshop handling the prosthetics and a lot of the visual special effects. You know Vincent Van Dyke's work. He's worked with Christopher Nelson on a lot of recent projects, including Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills and the Fear Street trilogy. He's also got Gary Tunnicliffe. Tunnicliffe, I hope I'm saying that right, Tunnicliffe. He's got Gary working on the makeup specifically for Sawtooth. So I'm telling you, when we finally get our reveal of this creature, I think it's going to be something special. It sounds really cool. Again, just following their feeds, it looks like the cast really bonded and got along well, and it was pretty cool to see. You can actually see another, not really an image, but just an idea of Sawtooth here. You know, the pumpkin-headed creature. This is from Dustin Sighthammer's Instagram, saying that it is a wrap on the film. And you can see that they made these jean jackets. He shared this video here. In this video, you can see it's basically the cast and crew all painting their own jean jackets. It looks like with images. This is a period drama too. You know, it doesn't take place modern day, and you can see they're all painting images, some Halloween imagery, and a lot of Sawtooth imagery. Really cool to see the cast bonding like this. Like I said, guys, I got a good feeling about this one. I've watched the development all the way through, and I think this is going to be something special for those of us that love Halloween movies, and specifically Halloween horror movies. So you guys let me know in the live chat right now, what are your thoughts on Dark Harvest so far? Let's see what's happening in the live chat real quick before we move on to tonight's top story. Ken says, wicked jacket. That's nice. Dave says, you know, the special effects will be top notch then. Absolutely. Yeah. Vincent Van Dyke. And I wouldn't be surprised to find out that our buddy Christopher Nelson might have helped out on some of this stuff too. I don't know that for sure, but Vincent Van Dyke's crew, yes, you know those effects are going to be great. And just seeing that illustration and seeing how the creature is described, very exciting. Gary Tunnicliffe, he's worked on a ton of awesome films as well that you would recognize. You would recognize his work if you don't recognize his name. And so having them behind this, David Slade, he did 31 Days of Night, and he's just I love the look of the vampires in that, and he's got a cool kind of stylistic directing style, and it being a period piece. I believe it takes place in the 60s. So, yeah, all of this combined, I think it's going to be a great way to kick off our Halloween season next year in early September of 2022. Bring it on, MGM. Come on, we're rooting for you. I'm very excited for that one for sure. Dude has checked in, says got here late, so I'm not sure what exactly was covered and to what extent, but there are set photos from Hocus Pocus 2 featuring a village being constructed in Chase Farm, Lincoln, Rhode Island. Very cool. Thank you for that update. Yeah, we were just talking about Hocus Pocus 2 filming there in Rhode Island. So excellent to hear. There you go, guys. A village being constructed. Yeah, we were talking about they were filming in, I think it's called LaSalle Academy earlier this week. And that much we know for sure. But there you go. Some sets being built right there. Looks like Dude is in the area where they're going to be shooting this. Again, that's a very exciting project because there's been literally years of rumors and hopes and people like Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, the stars, they would say, "Oh yeah, I'd love to do it. You know, I'd love to do it," and they would all kind of say they were in, and then you'd kind of think it was starting, and even when it was starting, that took a little while because the COVID and all that delayed everything, obviously. So to see that it's finally happening now is great. And like I said earlier, to see Disney's enthusiasm for a lot more things Halloween right now, gotta love that. That is a great update, dude. Thank you so much. Person asked, would you have fought back as a firefighter in Halloween Kills? That's a good question. Just about to go in and talk about Halloween Kills now. Would I have fought back? I mean, I don't know how much time they really have uh, to fight back in that film. Honestly, spoiler alert. But I don't know. I don't think they had a whole lot of time to fight, and I don't even think they were even. It was on their back of their minds that of all things, that's what they were going to run into. I think that's one of the ironies of that scene is that these guys are ready for the greatest danger you can imagine, but not ready for Michael. So I don't know. I would like to think I would, but then again, I'd probably be uh, it'd be over as fast as it was for them. Dude says, nice one. Looking forward to the film. Not in the area, by the way. Just read about it earlier. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not in the area either, but we're definitely following very close, and we're going to be covering everything about the Hocus Pocus sequel as we get closer. Very excited for that one. And cheers to you guys. Happy Halloween. And happy Halloween Kills. Let's get into this week's top story, which is, of course, the phenomenal box office success of Halloween Kills. Now, I talked about this somewhat on Monday night during our normal Michael Myers Monday live stream, but we didn't really go over the news and the headlines that night because we had a very special guest. The awesome and amazing and super talented Carmela McNeil joined us actually as our first Monday night live stream special guest. and came on, and we talked all about working on Halloween Kills. She, of course, plays Vanessa in the film, and it was a blast. And those of you that joined us, I appreciate you being there. We've gotten a lot of just really nice and great comments about that evening, and she was awesome to stay up late with us and to just be cool and talk to you guys and answer your questions and answer my questions. As you can see, I was geeking out. And so this is our top story this week. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. You guys can start chiming in about Halloween Kills. Um, the box office, it actually broke a couple records for the pandemic era and really exceeded pretty much everybody's expert predictions. So before we get into the most recent news, let's look at these numbers. This is pretty impressive, guys. Check it out. Michael Myers literally killed it at the box office this weekend with a massive $50.35 million 3-day opening weekend for the highly anticipated sequel, Halloween Kills. This is above expectations, and it makes it the best opening for any horror film and any R-rated film during the pandemic, which is even more impressive considering that it was against Venom, James Bond, and even itself on Peacock. HK is now tied with Jackass 3D as the 9th best opening at the domestic box office ever for October, and the 3rd best for a horror film during the month of October all time, after Halloween 2018 in first place and 2011's Paranormal Activity 3 currently in second place. That means Halloween Kills box office beat both A Quiet Place 2 and The Suicide Squad, both R-rated films released in theaters and simultaneously on streaming services earlier this year. This is obviously great news for Universal, Miramax, and Blumhouse, but it's also great news for movie theaters, proving that audiences, at least Michael Myers fans, were willing to come out to see the film on the big screen, even with it being available day and date at the same time on NBC Universal's streaming service Peacock for paid subscribers. It should also be noted that Peacock reportedly shot to the top of Apple's most downloaded apps rankings during Halloween Kills opening weekend. On the Monday following Halloween Kills October 15th opening, more than 1.2 million households in America had streamed the film on Peacock. Everyone involved, no doubt, is feeling pretty killer right now as they are about to begin production on next year's sequel, Halloween Ends. David Gordon Green confirmed at the HK Hollywood premiere last week that Halloween Ends will begin shooting in January, and there will be a 4-year time jump, meaning that the film will take place on Halloween 2022. Pretty impressive, and it's racked up a few more million just this week since then. Now, a big question going into this week, of course, is Warner Brothers' highly hyped and hugely budgeted Dune. This, of course, based on a classic novel, which was previously a film released in the 80s. It's going to be streaming simultaneously on HBO Max. It opened today. We're going to see. Personally, I mean, this is just my thoughts. I think HK is going to do just fine. I might even go so far, I think I'll go so far as to say I think it's still going to be number one this weekend. What do you guys think, though? I think Dune looks great. But again, I mean, HK, it's a Halloween movie. It's Halloween week. You know, what are you going to do if you haven't seen it already? Dune's got its fans, of course. They're gonna go see Dune tonight, of course. And again, it looks fabulous. But what do you guys think, though? Let me know in the live chat right now. Do you think Halloween Kills is going to maintain its number one spot? Either way, I mean, most films, most big hits, take a steep dive in the second week, and horror especially typically takes a big dive in the second week. So I'm sure that will probably happen. But again, though, it exceeded expectations in the first week. That's got to feel great for everybody involved, like I said in that video package. Also, like we said in the video package, David Gordon Green did confirm what we had been hearing and what we were thinking, that filming now for Halloween Ends is now set to begin in January. Let's go over to HalloweenDailyNews.com for a minute. Now, I hope you guys have been checking out our interviews with the cast of Halloween Kills. We've published quite a few interviews, most of them video interviews that are here on YouTube. They're also on the website. Just this past week, though, 3 great new interviews. Like I said, Monday night we had Carmela on live. It was awesome. And now that we've done it, despite a few technical glitches, which are on my end, I think we've corrected that now. There's always probably going to be some when we're live, but we're going to be able to do that again and more in the future. So that's exciting. And she was the perfect first guest for a Michael Myers Monday Live, and we had a lot of fun. Also, on Saturday, the day after the film opened, we premiered our exclusive new interview. This is a website exclusive with our new young Lonnie Elam, Tristan Eggerling. Now, this was not a video interview. This is a written interview. You can read it in full at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Tristan was really great. He answered a bunch of our questions, of course, about the Halloween holiday itself. And yes, he and his family do celebrate, and they take it very seriously. But the story I liked best was when asked about his favorite Halloween costume. He said it was the one he wore to the Halloween Kills premiere. If you didn't know, the Halloween Kills premiere was a costume party. It was a costume party premiere on a black carpet instead of red carpet. So a lot of the cast and attendees wore costumes. Tristan, this is his. Now, he explains the details, and it gets better. He says, quote, "I think my new favorite costume is the one I wore to the premiere of Halloween Kills. It was custom made by an amazing costume designer named Shirley Idzkovich, and was inspired by the popular Mr. Bones candy from the 1970s that spills out of Lonnie's pumpkin in Halloween Kills. I even bought the newer version of Mr. Bones candy to hand out at the after party for fun." Yeah. When he told us that answer, I knew I liked this guy. That is how you do a costume right at the premiere when you're young Lonnie Elam. We also talked about meeting off-screen his counterpart, Robert Longstreet, who of course plays the adult version of Lonnie in Halloween Kills. And also meeting Dylan Arnold, who plays Lonnie's son, Cameron, in the film. And yes, they did meet, all 3 of them, and they took some fun photos behind the scenes. And he says that, yes, Robert Longstreet would refer to them all as family. And there's another great shot from that premiere. In another recent interview, we did post the video here on our YouTube channel, also on HalloweenDailyNews.com. On Tuesday, I hope you caught our chat with Douglas Tate. Now, I interviewed Douglas for the first time in 2019 when he was starring in Hellboy. And we talked about his career. He played Jason in the final scenes of Freddy vs. Jason. He's been involved in a ton of awesome projects over the years. He's also a filmmaker. He and his wife both are. filmmakers and actors. Really cool guy and huge Halloween franchise fan, Michael Myers fan. Well, Doug talked to me this past weekend about working on the set of Halloween Kills, working with James Jude Courtney, doing a little bit of doubling for a few key scenes for a couple of days during shooting of Halloween Kills. And while that's awesome enough in and of itself, when you hear Doug's full story, including how close he came to playing the Shape in a film that was at one time going to be called Halloween Returns. Some of you Myers fanatics out there know what I'm talking about. In 2015, there was a film announced. There was a title announced. It was Halloween Returns. It was going to be directed by Marcus Dunstan, written by Patrick Melton, and it was in development. And Douglas Tate, our buddy, was basically cast as Michael Myers. He was going to be the Shape in that film. And long story short, the Halloween franchise, Malek Akkad, divorced itself from Dimension Films due to interference from Harvey Weinstein. And at that point, Halloween Returns was no more. Now, everything happens for a reason. If that hadn't happened, who knows where we'd be right now with everything. As a result, a few years later, we get what we have now, Halloween 2018. But I urge you to check out Doug's full interview. It's a fun story about a fan, one of us, who got into the business through working at haunts like Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. Through that stuff, he got into doing more makeup jobs where he was in makeup, playing creatures. Through that, he got cast in the reshoots, Freddy vs. Jason, playing Jason. And it all started with a VCR and Halloween 2, 1981's Halloween 2. Doug tells all these stories for the first time ever, including everything about Halloween Returns that he's never told publicly before. This is truly a Halloween Daily News exclusive. I urge you to check it out. And of course, his lifelong dream was realized when he did finally get on set and get behind the mask for just a little bit. And as he makes clear in the interview, James is the man. Make no mistake about it. There is one Michael Myers right now, and that is James Jude Courtney. But Aaron Armstrong, the stunt coordinator, he did portray the Shape in the 78 scenes, and Doug did help do some doubling in a few scenes that were inserted here and there during some key moments in the film. All of which you can find out about in our full interview here on the HDN YouTube channel and at HalloweenDailyNews.com. So we've already got some Halloween Kills Blu-ray news. This is something else that I didn't even really get to on Monday night, Michael Myers Monday. But David Gordon Green has already said that an extended cut is coming on the DVD and Blu-ray that will have a different ending from the theatrical cut that we saw. This is an interview with Collider, and David Gordon Green says, quote, "This is the director's cut," talking about the theatrical version. That's his director's cut. He continues, quote, "But there's an additional scene that we filmed that was scripted and actually I think is a pretty brilliant scene. So we're going to do an extended version on the DVD just so people can see an extended ending that's different and cool." He goes on to say, "We ended up lifting it when I became more confident of where we're going to pick up the next movie. It didn't feel authentic to where we're going to go. So we lifted it." So we just said, we're kind of coming up with, okay, then if we lift that, where do we end? And he says it was actually Blumhouse's Cooper Samuelson who said, just end it when it's over. So in other words, what he's saying here is there was a final scene that would more or less be the big to be continued. So if you felt like the theatrical ending was too big of a to be continued, you're probably not going to like this added scene too much. nonetheless, pretty exciting that we're going to get to see something that was shot and originally scripted, not in the film. My first question, of course, is are they going to include the theatrical cut with this extended cut? I would hope that on the physical Blu-ray package, hopefully, we get both versions. That's just me. And yet another bit of news uh, about Halloween Ends. On that black carpet premiere last week, David Gordon Green confirmed, like I said earlier, that they are shooting in January. We don't know where right now. I'm starting to hear more like it might be in Atlanta. Um, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, Halloween 2018, filmed in Charleston, South Carolina. Halloween Kills, shot in Wilmington, North Carolina. Where they go, a lot of that depends on each state's tax incentive program and who can give the best deal financially, really. There are studios. Like in Wilmington, they shot a lot in a studio warehouse. That's where they recreated the Myers house. And most of that 78 stuff was indoors in there. So, they can recreate. If they can do that as faithfully as they did, absolutely, they can recreate anything. Um, in Atlanta at their studios as well. And actually, Screen Gems, where they did shoot a large portion of HK, Screen Gems has a studio in Atlanta as well. So that would make sense on many levels. But that's not confirmed yet. What is confirmed now is they're definitely shooting in January. And David Gordon Green, he said it before, but he reiterated that the time jump is happening, and he made clear that it is a 4-year time jump from 2018, where the last two films take place, to 2022. So, in other words, Halloween Ends takes place Halloween 2022, which would be very interesting for a town that was already haunted by Michael Myers for 40 years. Now, the damage left after kills, yeah, this is going to be a whole new kind of damaged Haddonfield. And then add on top of that the real world stuff that has happened in the last 4 years since 2018 too. I think it makes for a possibly very interesting story. And knowing that he's still refining the script, um, you know, I think it's very exciting that they're going to do that time jump, and probably a wise move because the sun would be coming up on that Halloween night at some point here soon. Darlene says that was a great interview. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I think it will do great again this weekend. That's right, Darlene. Yep. Yep. See, she's going to see it again tomorrow. Ken says number one. Yep. Yeah, you'll have people wanting to watch it all day. Yeah. From fans. Yeah. I mean, I think now you've got the word of mouth. So casual fans, all of us are like Darlene, going to go see it a second time. And then you've got everybody else that didn't go last weekend that now everybody has said, casual fans have gone and said, yeah, it's damn good. You need to go. You know, so now there's going to be more casual fans because casual word of mouth. People that don't really, know Halloween 4 from H2O so much, they're going to be going this weekend because they've got word of mouth and they're like, well, okay, this is a good one. This is one of the good Michael Myers. A good one. That's what they're gonna in their minds because it's got that word of mouth. It's got that buzz now. It is the number one movie in the country. It did, break those pandemic records. So it's pretty damn impressive. And it is still, it is October 22nd. All respect to Dune. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing film. It looks awesome, but I just don't know that audiences are as hungry for that this weekend right now as they are for Halloween Kills. And again, not to get too philosophical on this stuff. I usually try to save that for the Monday nights, but we are late night now. But maybe there's something to these high numbers of people watching this film to it being just maybe a little bit cathartic to just watch this, to to get away, yes, and to watch something more evil than we can imagine out there just doing damage. Maybe there's something a little cathartic to that. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Yeah, I think it's going to do fine this weekend. David Gordon Green also, he's been doing a lot of interviews to promote this. Did you see over on Entertainment Weekly? He's talking about working with Kyle Richards. Again, spoiler alert if you've not seen Halloween Kills. You need to turn this off and go watch it right now and then come back and watch the rest of this. Okay, spoiler alert. Of course, Kyle Richards, Lindsay Wallace survives the film. One of the few, very few. And David Gordon Green says to Entertainment Weekly, I'm not sure we've seen the last of Kyle Richards in our franchise. So I wouldn't take that as 100% confirmation. But honestly, I mean, looking at how he handled Kills after 2018, I can't imagine him not bringing her back. He brought almost every character he could that survived 2018 back, and 78 for that matter. So I think it makes all the sense in the world. And she did such a great job, and as I keep saying, took it so seriously. She could have just conceivably phoned it in and gotten away with it and would have been okay. But I mean, I feel like all of these returning actors really did take it seriously, just like Jamie Lee is, and kind of following her example. And David Gordon Green also talks a little bit about something that some of my Monday night viewers have definitely heard me say, and something I said to Salem, I believe it was, when we interviewed her. Salem is one of the girls on the swing set. But David Gordon Green says that it was cool to take the character of Lindsay kind of full circle, because in the original film, she's the one being protected by Laurie. And in this film, she is very much the protector of these kids on the swing set, the trick-or-treaters, the silver shamrock trick-or-treaters. And they are, of course, played by some of our new friends, Salem Collins, Giselle Witt, and Jay Gavin. I'm forgetting his last name. But I talked about that, how it was cool to see Lindsay kind of come full circle. So it's cool to hear David acknowledging that as well. So there we go, a little bit of Halloween Ends news going into the second week of release of Halloween Kills. And yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it's going to do just fine at this box office this weekend. I really do. I think word of mouth is going to power it even harder. I think Dune will do just fine, but you got to remember, I believe a lot more people have HBO Max than have Peacock Premium. For example, I have HBO Max. I don't have Peacock Premium. So I just, I tend to sometimes just look, well, would I pay for, yeah, I mean, Dune, I'll watch it at home on HBO Max. And go see Halloween Kills again. So yeah, fans are going to go for their rewatch if they haven't already. And by now, they've sold it to new audiences, as have more casual fans. So, absolutely. All right. Now, I'm going to premiere a new little video clip. You guys can keep commenting about Halloween Kills. This is just a short little clip I want to get in here before we're done tonight, because we're about to start rolling out our exclusive coverage from Haunted Screams Expo. We've pretty much wrapped up our Mad Monster Expo coverage. Now we're moving into Haunted Screams Expo, which, by the way, while I'm talking about conventions and on-location stuff, our next convention is going to be, that we're going to be in attendance at and providing full coverage at, will be Mad Monster party in February. And guess who the first guest announced is? Our buddy James Jude Courtney. Yes, we're going to be there. He's going to be there. A lot of other awesome people are going to be there. That's happening in February in Concord, North Carolina, Mad Monster Party. You can learn more about that at madmonsterparty.com or, of course, at HalloweenDailyNews.com. You guys keep commenting on Halloween Kills. Ken says he loves the eye gouge scream. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in there. David says, great interviews. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And, of course, we're not done. There's many more coming that I can't talk about quite yet, but we are not done. And we are not done with Halloween Kills cast interviews. Not going to say too much, but again, we are kicking off Halloween week itself. So trying to do some big stuff for you guys. Thank you guys, though, for watching these interviews and reading them on the website. I am seeing your comments. We appreciate it. As you can see, I mean, I enjoy doing the interviews. It's taken me a while to get comfortable with Zoom, honestly. Like most people, it was an adjustment process, but I'm starting to finally feel a little more comfortable with that. And a lot of that is some of the people that I've talked to have just been really cool and really amazing and really open with their stories. And I think it's allowed you guys in a way that, a 6-minute chat, in between signing autographs at a convention just can't get to. And in ways that a lot of times a phone call, when you can't really see the person, can't really get to. So I'm seeing the advantage to the video interview format here recently, and I appreciate that you guys are taking notice too and appreciating these interviews. Like I said, that is definitely something that we plan to continue and and bring lots more to you. So stay tuned for that. All right, again, this is a clip. This is not even a properly edited clip or anything. This is kind of raw video. I'll probably put some music behind it when it actually goes up. But this is what I call the Myers Mobile. This is literally a car. Don't ask me the make. You guys tell me the make. I don't even know. But this is a badass Michael Myers car. Look at the custom work on it. It is amazing. This was on display at Haunted Screams Expo in Hampton, Virginia. Just about a month ago, we were there. And here, check this out. This is just a real short clip. And we'll have more. All right. Thank you, Ken. That is a Dodge Charger or Challenger. That sounds right to me. Yeah, like I said, we've got lots more coming from Haunted Screams Expo. Full convention floor walkthroughs, cosplay highlights, costume contest highlights and exclusive interviews with the winners. And we've got panel coverage, Q&A coverage with people like Tyler Main and Scout Taylor Compton, Lou Temple, all there for a Halloween '07 panel. David Howard Thornton from Terrifier and Terrifier 2. Ken Segoes from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Lots of cool stuff is going to be coming with there. And like I said, lots of good interviews are in the works right now. I don't like to talk about them until they're in the can, but I'm going to let you guys know first as soon as I can. I just don't like to jinx things until they're done. But trust me, we got a lot coming. So thank you all for watching the interviews, for enjoying them. We plan to do more, and thank you for watching all of our programming here on the Halloween Daily News YouTube channel. Whether you're into the animatronics and the Hallow hunting stuff, or the unboxings, which, by the way, I got some pretty cool unboxings coming on the next couple of Monday nights, so you're gonna want to check that out. So also, before I forget, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That really helps out, and then you'll know when our videos are live and new, and you won't miss anything. And if you could hit the like button on this video if you're watching it, if you do like it, I'd appreciate that. If you're watching this on a replay and you have thoughts on anything I've talked about here tonight, I'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line down in the comments below. Are you excited for Dark Harvest like I am? How about the Batman? Are you looking for Halloween stuff in it? Are you a Batman fan like I am? Hocus Pocus 2, do you have kids? Are you going to be watching it with your kids? Or were you a kid when it came out? Are you somebody that... when it came out, are you somebody that went to the theater and saw it when it was first released in '93? I'd love to hear from you if that's your case. I know a lot of people are super stoked for this movie, and of course, I think we're all super stoked for Halloween Ends. If you've seen Halloween Kills and liked it, I mean, yeah, that's my only complaint. Give me more. So an extended scene, all right, I'll take it. I liked the ending, though, honestly, personally. If you want to know more of my personal thoughts on Halloween Kills, I actually published my official review today on HalloweenDailyNews.com. Excuse me, we published it yesterday. But you can check that out at HalloweenDailyNews.com. The days are all running together. It's October. So I lose track. But yeah, you can get my full thoughts and so forth on my review. I will be doing a video version of the review. We'll have that up in a couple of days. And like I said, we're gonna have the first of our Haunted Screams Expo videos coming in just a few days as well. So look for that. Our next live stream is currently scheduled for this Monday night, 10:31 p.m. Eastern. Michael Myers Monday, where we will talk all things Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise. And after Carmella, and that was such a success last week, you never know who might be stopping in and joining us live. All I can say is keep watching, keep tuning in. Make sure you turn on the notifications. All right, guys? Ken says, Terrifier, hell yeah, yes. David Howard Thornton, yeah, we're going to talk about that. And look, Terrifier 2, I know a lot of you guys are hyped on that. Yeah, we are going to be covering the hell out of that. I hope you caught my interview with Damian Leone earlier this year. There's got to be news from that. I can tell you, there's not a whole lot I can tell you, but look for Terrifier 2 2022, T222, T222. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, we're going to have lots of Terrifier 2 coverage, including, like I said, David Howard Thornton in a Q&A at Haunted Screams Expo talking about Terrifier and a little bit about Terrifier too. So that's coming. All of that stuff is coming in the next few days, within the next week, because it's Halloween week, y'all. So again, thank you for being here. Let me see if there's any last comments that I can answer before I close out. Young Major says, how you feel about Sinister, the movie? It was pretty good. David, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being here, man. And Dave Sumer, I will be seeing you at Mad Monster Party in February, bro. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a table again, guys. The hotel there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And to hear that James is there. Now, bear in mind, they're supposed to shoot in January. This is late February. It is possible that they're still filming. Something could be delayed. Something could happen. So that could be, But even if so, there's a good chance that they might need James on Friday, and they most likely wouldn't need him on the Saturday and Sunday. So hypothetically, especially if they're shooting on the East Coast, he could easily still appear at the convention. Again, though, that's a lot of what ifs. Ideally, though, they shoot, they wrap, and then he comes to Mad Monster to party with us, celebrating wrapping H-ends. All right, guys. That's the show for this week. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, if you could just like the video, hit the share button if you know people that might like it as well. And if you think of anything we didn't get to and you want me to try to get to next week, I'd love to hear about that too. Drop us a comment down below. And as always, you can find out more about everything that I've talked about tonight anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. All right, guys. This has been fun. Young says, dope shirt, by the way. Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You guys recognizing the shirt. I love this shirt. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for recognizing it. I do love this one. Yeah. David says, met Damien and got a pic of David in Art the Clown makeup. Hell yeah, man. Right over here. Right over here. Every week. That's me and Sue, my wife, with David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. See that? Awesome. That photo also taken at Mad Monster Party. Can't say enough about them. They're the best. Best annual convention we go to. And now it's going to be a biannual because they do the party and the expo. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. It's an exciting time right now. Like I said, turn the notifications on because there might be surprise lives. It's that time of year. And there's definitely going to be other content that I didn't even mention tonight. And there's other content on the website that we didn't mention tonight in the headlines. So stay tuned for more. Until then, I'm Matt Arts. Thank you for watching.